Well, if it's nice, then it's wise to play it twice. It's a Miguel classic with J. Cole. It's called All I Want Is You right here on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Drive Time with Lexis Bale. Coming up to 13 minutes to 4 o'clock. Yep. And I hope you're having a really good day. I mentioned earlier we'll be having a conversation about the Africa Prosperity Network's event coming up, the Africa Prosperity Dialogues. And I'm really happy to have Brother Chief Operations Officer of APN, Dr. Nyarko-Pong, Dr. Kofi Nyarko-Pong on phone to tell us a bit more about it. Hello, Doc. Good day and welcome to Drive Time.
Hello, Lexis. Good to hear your voice. And,
yes.
Good afternoon to your cherished listeners.
I hope you're keeping well.
Very well, very well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're well, thank you. So when we heard that you've been busy with the Africa Prosperity Dialogues, we thought to call you up and let us in on what you've been cooking. So tell us a bit more, for starters, about the Africa Prosperity Network and why it was established. We can start from there.
Right. Thank you once again. And Africa Prosperity Network, or APN, is really a non-for-profit organization. And this is, it's established with the sole objective of promoting the Africa we want, as outlined in the Africa Union's Agenda 2063. Okay, and this is all in the bid to drive the single market agenda for Africa's economic integration as well as our shared prosperity. Hence, the name Africa Prosperity Network. So basically, we're looking at how to support the ASCFTA to drive the creation of the world single market. Africa has 1.4 billion people, and we want to create prosperity for its citizens. And this is what APN is all about and why it was established.
Okay, and that tells us why you put together the dialogues, right? And tell me, why are these dialogues important, the Africa Prosperity Dialogues?
Right. So, Lexis, we hear a lot of conferences every now and then, but, we try to pride ourselves in the fact that we are, you can say, an ideas laboratory, for instance, where we have actually practical discussions that lead to actionable policies and bankable projects. Okay, so we are not just one of these talk shops. We make sure that what comes out of these dialogues are deliberately and uniquely positioned to put Africa on the map. So, the beginning of each year in January, this is a unique event where the business leaders on the African continent, the top executives, top CEOs, heads of, multilateral financial institutions, the private sector, as it were, they meet and sit and dialogue with policy leaders, government officials on the other hand. Okay, so we create that synergy and that platform where they can dialogue on ways in which to push the single market agenda forward. So you get a sense of what the private sector is looking out for, and you get a sense of what governments or policymakers are looking out for. They can sit together, and then when they have deliberated, they can move together, take action for the betterment of our continent.
Oh, that's great.
And that is why Africa Prosperity Dialogues is so unique.
Yeah.
And we bring the movers and shakers of the continent all in Accra at one place every January. Okay,
wow.
Every top senior executive businessman on the continent is going to show up in Accra tomorrow.
That's great. I mean, you've had a couple of editions already. Now, what impact have these previous editions had, and what partnerships make APD 2025 possible?
I mean, let me start off with what we were able to achieve last year. For instance, at the end of every Africa Prosperity Dialogues, we come out with what we call the Compact. Okay, the Compact was presented at the AU Heads of State Assembly in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, last February, and to overwhelming adoption. Okay, now out of this Compact, for instance, we try to push the agenda of mobile money interoperability and interoperability of payment systems, so that one person in Ghana can send money or receive money from somebody from Ethiopia or South Africa. We want to get rid of the barriers that divide us as a continent in Africa. Okay, so interoperability is one huge thing, and is going to be tabled before the heads of state again this coming February, so that within 5 years, there's a framework and there's an implementation model where we can trade among ourselves. You could say that mobile money, for instance, will become like a common currency, for African countries. And so, the dialogues haven't just been a talk shop. They've been actually producing real impact, and we are very, very proud to be associated with it.
That's great. Now let's talk about this year's dialogues as well. What are the key objectives of the APD 2025?
Right. So let me start off with a theme. The theme this year is delivering Africa's single market through infrastructure. Invest, connect, integrate. So the central theme is focusing on infrastructure. And so we are going to look at ways in which, we can fund and build the infrastructure that connects Africa's regions. Okay. So, we want to highlight key infrastructural projects and then put an amount to it. How can we fund these projects? How can we build it? And when we talk of infrastructure, we're not just talking about a physical infrastructure like the rail, the roads, the sea, the ports, and stuff like that. But we're also looking at digital or software infrastructure. So all these conversations are going to be had. Experts from investment banking, experts from even digital infrastructure, energy, even social infrastructure like health, education, hospitality. These men and women are all going to sit down and dialogue and ways in which we can strike deals so that once demand and supply is created, now we have a payment system implementation going on. Now we should be able to have the infrastructure that connects us seamlessly. It shouldn't be a struggle for an Algerian to go outside of Africa before he connects to a flight to come to South Africa. Okay, we have to really get rid of these borders. And so infrastructure is the central theme this year.
That's impressive. Okay. Well, we are totally looking forward to it. Tell us the event outline for APD 2025.
Right. So the event itself is a 3-day event. It starts tomorrow, Thursday, the 30th of January, and then it runs on the 31st as well, and then ends on the 1st. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now on Thursday, which is day one, we start at 8 a.m. sharp. Now at 8 a.m. we will begin with an exhibition which we've dubbed Projet Afrique. Okay, you come and look at the arts, agribusiness, people in tech and industry, and even automobiles. So this exhibition is open to all. Even if you've not registered as we speak, you can just show up for the exhibition. And then at 9 o'clock in the morning, the exhibition will still be running, but we'll have a series of breakfast meetings. And these are particularly targeted at youth, in the legal system, targeted at women in trade, SMEs, and the likes. And so these breakfast meetings will also run from 9 o'clock till the afternoon. And at 1 p.m., the official opening ceremony begins. Okay, here we'll have a plenary session, keynote address from top business executives, and then we'll end the day with 2 panel sessions. One on the investment actually needed, filling the funding gap, and then the second would also be on the transport and logistics that connect Africa. And so it's a packed days program, starting with breakfast meetings, exhibition, and then the main session, opening ceremony in the afternoon. And then, by 5 o'clock, we are done. Those who are invited to the cocktail will go to Kempinski tomorrow evening and continue there. And then we return again Friday, again with some, dialogues and some discussions on digital infrastructure, on social infrastructure, on energy, and so on and so forth. And then on Saturday, this is where the heads of state, and I'm told about 7 heads of state have confirmed their participation in these dialogues, are going to meet with the business executives. So the business executives will be on one hand, the policymakers, the heads of state, the ministers of state who are showing up would also be on one hand on Saturday. And these will, they're going to dialogue and come up with a compact for a leader-worthy compact that will be presented hopefully at the next AU Heads of State in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. So it's a 3-day event, and we are not just ending with a summit, but in the evening of Saturday, there's an invitation-only Africa Prosperity Champions Awards and Gala Dinner. Okay, so this one, unfortunately, you need a special invitation, or you must have bought a ticket already for it. Very, very high profile, only 360 seats available. And here we are going to celebrate some champions of industry, captains of industry, people who have put Africa and global Africa on the map. Okay, so we are going to celebrate people who have had Africa's interest and economic integration and our shared prosperity at heart. And this is, just to inspire the next generation of people to also invest in Africa's future. And so this is the outline of a 3-day event.
Good stuff. I was actually going to ask how we can get tickets and be a part of it, but you mentioned that the gala dinner is almost booked?
Yes, but I mean, we still have a few, tickets left. If you go to africaprosperityNetwork.com, you can purchase a ticket for the gala dinner.
Okay.
The dialogue, however, I want to clarify, the dialogue is free to attend.
Okay.
We have 4,000 participants, 4,045 participants already registered from 46 countries. So tomorrow is going to be a very, very busy day. I mean, It's free to come to the dialogue itself. Just go to africaprosperityNetwork.com and then register for free for the dialogue itself. Even if you can't make it for the gala dinner, the dialogue, the 3-day dialogue, you want to be part of history making and you want to show up there.
Good stuff. I'm really grateful you shared this with us, and kudos to you and the team for putting this together. We're definitely going to be there. We're grateful. Any final words before we wrap up, Doc?
Well, I want to say come one, come all. Tomorrow we are talking about Africa's prosperity. We are putting infrastructure on the map. Come and experience the exhibition and the breakfast meetings. Don't be left out. Block out these 3 days and be part of history making.
There you go. Thank you so much, brother, and have a good day.
You too.
All right. Dr. Kofi Nyarko-Pong is Chief Operations Officer of the Africa Prosperity Network, talking about the Africa Prosperity Dialogues here in Accra. I'm Lexis Bill. Stay tuned in. Here's Miguel again.